Hello, this is Dr. Akin Marino from Africa Mental Health Alliance, and today I want to talk about narcissism. Narcissism can be described as an individual's tendency to consider him or herself superior, entitled, or special, along with a propensity to marginalize, demean, or invalidate the opinions of others in order for that person to feel good about themselves. This is a narcissist is someone who is I-centered, they're self-conscious, and they're materialistic. They're they're the life of the party. They soak in all the energy and all the oxygen in the room, and there is no one as good as a narcissist. They see themselves the center of the universe. And so, today we want to talk about this to see if you're with one, if you're married to one, or if you have a relationship with someone like that. Because one of the things that narcissist does is they make you feel like everything that is wrong is about you. Like you are the cause of the evils in the world. And so we want to talk about and that's why I'm talking about this today. So the overt narcissist is the person who fits all of the criteria of this narcissism. The one that we see on TV is the one that we know of, is the one that says, without me, you are nothing. So the overt narcissist possesses most of all the common traits associated with narcissism that we know of. Okay, grandiosity, attention seeking, superficial claims, superficial charms, exaggeration. They will always one up you. If you say, this is what happened to me today, they're going to tell you, an exaggerated form of that. Excessive self-importance, they're the only one. Blatant entitlement, aggressive manipulation, negative put-downs, arrogant condensation. And the thing with an overt narcissist is they have this social acceptance, because they always make people feel like you can't do it without them. They're usually good speakers. They can charm their way into your heart, into your pocketbook, and so they end up being leaders and influencers in our society. This overt narcissist, they expect the world to revolve around them. I'm not going to belabor that. We're going to go to the second one. The second type of narcissist is the covert or introverted narcissist. Now, this is somebody who doesn't fit the bill. They're not overly grandiose. They're not overly offensive. The characteristics, though, are their quiet smugness. They just have this arrogance about them, this sense of superiority. They're very self-absorbed. It's always about them. If it's not about them, then it's not, then it's not working. They lack empathy. They can't. I just did a video earlier today on empathy. The overt narcissist doesn't understand walking in other people's shoes. The world revolves around them, even in their quietness. They're quick to judge people, or they're quick to judge tasks as boring or stupid, or they take pride in being misunderstood. This person loves to be misunderstood. In fact, they will tell you, it's a badge of honor when they say, people just don't get me. While the overt narcissist, tends to be, just obtuse and just very controversial. The introverted narcissist is hidden. It's very subtle. And if you don't really understand what's going on, they will just keep manipulating events so that, it works in their favor. And then we have the passive-aggressive narcissist. The third kind of narcissist is a passive-aggressive narcissist. Now, this is the person who makes everything your fault. It says that, it says that there's nothing wrong, but there is something wrong. They will be difficult, but tell you that it's okay. So they are very hostile. It's actually, they can be described as hostility in disguise, because what they want to do is gain the upper hand. They would psychologically manipulate you. They're very selfish. They seek to punish you. If they feel like you've done something wrong, they will find a way to punish you, but say that they're not really punishing you. If they want to get their way, they will devise very subversive schemes to make sure that the lives of those around them is miserable. So the passive aggressive narcissist, let's say they need to go out, and for some reason you tell them that it's impossible for them to go for some reason, and they stay home. Now that narcissist, the passive aggressive narcissist, is going to make sure that life in that house is ugly. Like, it could be from withholding affection. They will not say anything to you. They will not engage in you, with you. This kind of things happen. They will make sure that they give you the silent treatment all through the day. So, and if you approach them and say, hey, are you upset with me? They'll say, oh no. They usually will say one thing and do another. They blame, they stall, they make excuses for everything. They pretend ignorance, and they will sabotage things. What we call it subversive sabotage. Whatever it is to get their way. This is the kind of person that you plan something with, and then they will put a wrench in it in a minute. That's passive aggressive narcissist. And so this kind of person you have to be careful. You have to be careful about, because they'll end up making you think that you're crazy. Then you have the situational narcissist. Now, the situational narcissist is actually kind of funny to me, because this person is fine until they start getting some level of status or acclaim or recognition in the world, in their profession, and all of a sudden they become a narcissist. We call them situational narcissists. This is someone who, before that time, they acted socially and professionally in acceptable manners, but all of a sudden their ego gets in the way now. This kind of person, just then start talking and bragging about their wealth or whatever it is, their gift is to the world. They feel entitled. They're very self-absorbed. This narcissist. And the last type of narcissist is the sexual narcissist. This is somebody who thinks they're the gift of God to the opposite sex, or to whoever they're attracted to, or who is attracted to them. Sexual gratification, ego. They have a false sense of ego validation. They validate all these things with sexuality, which has to deal with inequity in power, boundary violation. They're blatant physical and emotional manipulators. They would, repeatedly, they would use abuse and neglect of their victim. This is a group of narcissists that can go into sexual addiction, domestic violence, relational infidelity. So these things, would manifest in their lives. And so those are the 5 types of narcissists that we have. Just to recap, you have the overt narcissist who fits textbook narcissism. And then you have the covert or introverted narcissist. You have the passive aggressive narcissist, and you have the situational narcissist, and of course the sexual narcissist. Now, why am I bringing this up? Is first of all, so you can identify them, and secondly, so you're going to understand what I'm about to tell you right now. That the narcissists are notorious for making everything your fault. In fact, they will tell you it's your fault. They will tell you you're the reason why that happened. It is your job to understand that it is not your fault. You're dealing with a mental illness, and you need to know that this person has the ability to crush you. Okay? This is a behavioral issue. That they will have an ability to crush you, and so you need to step away from that. You don't be crushed under their manipulation. Don't become crushed under their aggressiveness or passive aggressiveness, whichever one it is. So once you identify and you know somebody as this, now don't go around don't go around diagnosing people either. That's not what I'm saying. But when you have this kind of person, you know them because you would know their behavior is self-evident. And if that's that person, take care of yourself, please. Take care of yourself, because living with a narcissist is quite tedious. The first thing you need to do is try to get them into therapy. Try to get them into counseling. Go with them, and if that fails, you get counseling yourself, because if you've been abused and if you've been manipulated for an extensive length of time, you start doubting who you are. You start doubting yourself. You become a different person because you don't want to get them upset. And let me tell you, it's like pouring water into an ocean. It doesn't make a difference. No matter what you do, and you keep pouring that water, they're forever going to be so self-absorbed unless something changes in their life, that makes them conscious of this, and maybe they get help and start working on it. And so that is my admonition for you today. And just to also remind you that it is not your fault. You did not do anything wrong. Okay? That it is not your fault. You did not do anything wrong. Get away from this machine that can crush you. Don't stay in there in a place where somebody constantly keeps crushing you. So remove yourself, and it doesn't have to be physically. So I'm not talking about move out of the house or anything like that. I'm just saying, don't engage in such a way that they have that hold on you. Okay? All right. So hopefully that helps you. We'll talk to you later. Have a good day. And remember, you can reach me at African Mental Health Alliance, or at akinmarino.com, or at Dr. Akin Marino on any of the social media sites. All right. Bye.